From Giuseppe's studio, it's the Lombardi and JP Talk Sports podcast. I'm your boy, Scotty P. They, them boys, Lombardi and JP. And what an epic game for Scotty P's first epic trip to see the Cowboys live with my very own eyes. Unbelievable comeback win against the division rival and current division leading Philadelphia Eagles. How did they do it? What did it feel like in the stadium? And what does it all mean now for this Cowboys team? Let's find out now on Lombardi and JP. Here we go. Gentlemen, good to see you. Lombardi and I just off the plane. Whew, I'm still buzzing from what we just experienced.
Yeah, I can't wait to share it to our followers and fans that tune into our podcast. What a weekend trip.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about it. I mean, obviously, it's always fun going to AT&T Stadium in Dallas. So glad to have you guys back, and can't wait to talk about it.
Well, happy to be back. But before we get started with this week's show, I just wanted to make a couple quick shout outs. Take a second to thank all the great people that we met, new friends and old ones. I mean, we got to see we make new friends and our new traveling buddies, Keith and Michelle. We saw fans from the podcast from New Mexico. We got to meet some new fans of the podcast, Rick, Angelica, Mark, a.k.a. Troy. Thank you, guys. It was great meeting you. Longtime friends and buddies that we got to hang with. Kyle, Kathy, Tanya, Thad, and the whole family. What a gang. What a trip. Thank you guys so much. And some of the hardest working and best staff at AT&T's Stadium Club. Man, thank you guys so much. You took care of us. I know you take care of Lombardi every week, but this was my first trip. I got to experience your friendliness, your kindness, how well you treated us, and we had so much fun. Thank you for making my first Cowboys game so much fun and a memorable experience that I will always treasure and never forget. Thank you, everybody.
So, JP, you ready for this one?
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean,
are you gonna finally let me know that I might have been a little right last week?
About what?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, you picked the Cowboys. You picked with your heart. I picked with my brain. Obviously,
your brain wasn't working. Your brain wasn't working.
It was working.
What? The Dallas Cowboys beat your Philadelphia Eagles, my friends.
My Eagles. They're not my Eagles.
Well, Go ahead.
All I'm saying is this. The first half of the game, we all thought, I'm sure you're sitting in your seats with Scotty going, here we go again. We're about to get blown out. We can't get out of our own way. We're making all the same mistakes to put us in a blowout, loss to the Eagles, our division rival. It was going to be horrific.
Yeah, I've seen this video before. I sat my seat. It was 21-0, and I said to myself,
at that moment, you're like, JP might be a little bit right. JP might be a little bit right at that moment, right?
Yeah, but you know what? We don't win or lose a game in the first half. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the way you want to come about and let me know that I might have known a little something last week, I'll take it. We're working on that piece, that side of you. You know what I'm saying?
You're not getting the satisfaction.
Let me share with our fans right now some offensive stats. We knew our MVP candidate Dak Prescott went 23 for 36, throwing for 354 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a horrific, when I say horrific, especially at the time, interception into the end zone. Man, we'll talk about that. What about our boy George Pickens with 9 receptions at 146 yards and 1 touchdown? If we don't sign him, that's going to be even more detrimental than Micah Parsons, and I can't wait to talk about that. And our boy CeeDee Lamb, man, where is his head? 4 receptions with 75 yards, but more importantly, why is he dropping the ball? 3 to 4 drops, again, costing the team points. I just don't know where his head is. And let me mention Javonte Williams. Once again, Dak's always looking good if he's got a running game, and our offensive line is looking all right with 20 carries for him at 87, just under 87 rushing yards, just under 100 yards rushing. And you know what? Hats off to the Dallas Cowboys because, like we all know, it was 21-0, and that's very hard to keep that running game going when you're down 21 at the half, JP.
Yeah, I think what the biggest thing was getting some points before halftime. I mean, if we went into halftime 21-0, I feel like this game would be getting out of hand pretty quickly if we had no points going into half. But going down there, marching down, and kind of getting a touchdown before to get on the board, it was a huge uplift for the offense. obviously, I don't know what's happening with CeeDee Lamb. Apparently he's not a big game receiver like George Pickens was for us. Pickens looked amazing. The double coverage didn't matter. He made every single catch he could out there. Just making the adjustments, going back, looking like Randy Moss, catching a ball over two defenders. Dak Prescott wasn't afraid to let it air it out against with Ferguson and Pickens, especially in the crucial times of the game. Obviously, great to see the offense clicking in the second half, and our defense. We can't lose sight. I'm very critical about Coach Eberflus on the defensive side. I think this was probably his best game coaching, because early on the first half, the Eagles were shut out a 3-0, stopped on third down, and they're about to punt the ball. They punt the ball, and Flournoy, clear as day on TV, tips the ball, or hits the ball, deflects the ball, and he calls it right in the game. If you look at the replay, you can see him going, I made contact with the ball. And then as Dallas, as a coaching staff, they have to challenge that. It's a challengeable play. We don't challenge it, and the Eagles get the call, and they march down and score another touchdown, makes it 14-0. If that doesn't happen, that could have changed the whole game. And a lot of these calls went against us early in the first half. The game was very, very messy. I mean, overall, there was 22 penalties penalized by both teams, 14 against the Eagles and 8 against the Cowboys. Very sloppy game on both sides. But Eberflus did come through with the defense, holding Saquon Barkley to 10 carries on 22 yards. That was huge. Now, A.J. Brown had 5 catches for 67 yards and a touchdown. That was all in the first half. He didn't have a single reception, I don't believe, in the second half. So it was a great showing on our defense. I feel like getting healthy, yes, it was a good showing. It's a good team. Now, Eagles are struggling on offense, but keeping Hurts in the pocket and containing him to the pocket and making him throw, which we talked about last week, it was a huge game plan in the second half that keep the Cowboys in the game, in this game, for the defense.
Yeah,
so it was great showing.
You are right, and I think that what we talked about last week is true, and I know that you've been very difficult with the defense. So have I, and so has Cowboy Nation, and rightfully so. But what we're seeing right now is this. This is the big deal. The big point of our defense is this: they're actually coming together a lot sooner than I expected. Getting Quinn Williams in Dallas, and putting him with Murray and putting him with Clark, they're making them better players that are surrounding him. And the more pressure that we're getting on quarterbacks, it's making our corners better. Our secondary is becoming better. Malik Hooker had a great game. Bland had a great game. And I think the big one that I can't believe that is already playing at a level that he is after the devastating issue or injury we have to talk about is Overshown. I can't tell you how many times he was in open space, taking Saquon Barkley out, losing yards, taking him out, losing yards. That doesn't happen when Saquon Barkley has open space. He's going 10, 12, 14, 15, 16 yards. And he was doing that consistently. So to know that he's back full strength and playing just as well as he did prior to this injury is quite an improvement in our defense. And all we need to do, JP, is be somewhat average. I'm not looking for this defense to be a top defense, because they are not. But be average and give our team an opportunity to win. And that's what they did.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where 21 points in the score in the first half and 0 in the second half. Great adjustments at halftime. I mean, Hurts had 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half, and we were like, here we go again. Like just like week 1, Hurts had 2 rushing touchdowns early, and it really set us back, and we couldn't stop him. In the second half, we kept him in the pocket and made him throw. He's not a throwing quarterback. He's a quarterback that runs. He's a mobile quarterback that gets good reads on the run, and he gets receivers downfield open, and he just hucks it down there and hopes Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown catch it, which Devontae Smith had a couple of great catches, just like Pickens did, that kept the Eagles moving the ball when it mattered most. So again, it's scary. Third downs always still worry me, especially third and short. We seem to just cannot get off the field. This is the first game against a good team. This is our first win against a team with a winning record. And is a big win, especially a division rival. If we want to have any chance at this division, we have to win this game, which we did, and which makes you feel good going forward because now we got the Chiefs on Thanksgiving Day. So
yeah, in the
great
Chiefs,
win.
like I said, I know we argue about this all the time, but you feel that the Chiefs are way better.
It's
And I'm going to make a comment here. You think the Chiefs are way better than what they are, and they did have a big win against Buffalo this week. You know what I mean? And
No, it was
Indianapolis. I apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I apologize. Indianapolis, and was that an overtime win? I don't remember.
It was overtime win. It was overtime win. They went to overtime.
Okay.
It
All
tied
right,
up.
so either at the end of the game,
they kicked the field goal.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that there is no reason why the Dallas Cowboys don't go in again, home, hosting the Chiefs and knock them off. And all
I disagree though. Patrick Mahomes can throw on the run, can make plays with his legs. He is the complete package at quarterback. He's not. Jalen Hurts is nowhere close as good as Patrick Mahomes.
Are the Chiefs better than the Eagles?
No.
Okay. All right.
Because the defense is better with
Whoa. Let me make my statement. Are the Chiefs better than the Eagles? Truthfully.
Eagles are better than Chiefs.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to tell you this now. The Dallas Cowboys were actually embarrassing the first half when we were playing the Eagles. If we actually played discipline free, not make dumb mistakes on neutral zone penalties and false starts and interceptions in the end zone, we blow the Eagles out. The Dallas Cowboys, I told you last week, the Dallas Cowboys, I asked you and Scotty P, I said, who is the better team in week 1 versus week 12? Is it the Dallas Cowboys of week 1 or is it the Dallas Cowboys of week 12? I'm telling you right now, the Dallas Cowboys, with their defensive moves and their injury-free guys that are back, are a better team. We're a better team than the Chiefs. The Chiefs play nobody. Who has the Chiefs played that is worthy of talking about?
They just played the Colts and beat them.
Okay, the Colts. One team. We just played the Eagles.
They played the Broncos twice.
Oh, come on.
Top of the AFC.
Bo Nix, the Mr. Inconsistent.
Chargers have a winning record.
Oh,
the Chiefs had a better record, playing against better teams than the Cowboys have.
Why are not the Chiefs better team than the Eagles? You just said no, they're not.
They have played a tougher schedule than the Cowboys played and what the Eagles play. They have a good schedule. They played a tough schedule.
So why aren't the Chiefs a better team, in your opinion?
Right? Why? Ooh. Because their defense is not showing up. If you're saying who was better, the Chiefs or Eagles, I said that I think the Eagles are better than the Chiefs because the Eagles are 8-3. The Chiefs only have 5 wins this year. They're 6-5 now. So the thing is, what I'm telling you is they obviously, by record, the Eagles are better than the Chiefs. Now the Chiefs
when you backpedal.
No, they have a tougher schedule than the Eagles, and then they had some heartbreaking losses. They lost to the Bills. They lost to the Broncos twice.
But they're still not a better team than the Eagles. They're still not a better team than the Eagles, and therefore our Dallas Cowboys are hosting them on. You want me to know this? Listen,
oh my God.
Let me help you. You're tired. You're obviously very tired and you're confused.
Yeah.
What you want to do is this. You want to tell me this. Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
You want me to know that.
Yes, it's the truth.
Okay. All right. So that doesn't mean the Chiefs are a better team or that there's no way that the Dallas Cowboys are going to go in there and take care of business.
If Patrick Mahomes played on Sunday, I believe that he would hit some of those receivers that are wide open that Hurts didn't see or he didn't make the throw. That scares me more. We made other quarterbacks like Jacoby Brissett, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix look like Dan Marino, John Elway, Tom Brady, whatever you want to name, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. We made them look awesome. Now, do we have some guys back now that can disrupt their pocket? Yes. Quinn Williams is a huge pickup. You were totally right. He's a huge pickup. He's awesome. Love him. But
thank God.
It doesn't. Mahomes can make better decisions quicker than the other quarterbacks that we played in the past that beat us.
When has Patrick Mahomes struggled?
Mahomes is going to be a problem. Mahomes' offensive line has struggled all year. They have a lot of injuries, and they're not the same team. I agree with you, but it's still Patrick Mahomes. He still can scoot out, bootleg, and make plays with his legs. He also can make great throws. He scares me. He's the best quarterback we've played this year, hands down. Who's better than Patrick Mahomes that we've played this year so far? There's nobody better than him. Nobody better.
You're telling me this. The Chiefs have a broken offensive line right now. Would you agree with that?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. All right. And I'm also going to tell you this. When do you see, just like most quarterbacks, when do you see these quarterbacks struggle? When they don't have time and they're pressured. And I'm going to tell you that's going to work in a big way for the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, the Eagles have a better offensive line. The Eagles have a better offensive line than the Chiefs. And the Dallas Cowboys were able to get pressure on Jalen Hurts. I
Joe,
can't believe you don't see this.
No. What you're not getting is that we've only had 2 weeks with this defense that we look better. The whole season before that was atrocious. Against the Cardinals, the Bears, the Broncos, we were terrible. Terrible. We have 2 games in a row where we play against the awful Raiders, and we played against the Eagles offense, who's been struggling all year. They got getting by. They're frauds. I called them frauds week 1. They are still frauds to this day. Their 8-3 record is BS, but they're 8-3, right? But they're a struggling offense. So we got 2 weeks with a defense that's playing good, and we're like, here we go, Super Bowl, here we come, playoffs, here we come.
I never said that.
You're saying that we're going to disrupt the quarterback. We're going to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. We only done that twice this whole season. We've only done it twice.
What you're missing, though, is this. I just told you with overshown back, and he is a huge piece. Ravel back. Ravel with, and I'm not sure why Logan Wilson didn't play. Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me? Scott, can you figure out anything that we have any news on that?
No injury designation against Logan Wilson. And there's no no coach decision for not to play him. There's nothing on it. There's nothing out there on that.
I mean,
I don't know why he didn't play.
He was standing on the sidelines. I mean, Scott and I had a conversation about it. Like, why is this guy not playing? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
either way, before I let you off the hook, what I'm trying to tell you is that you keep saying it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks that we've gotten people back. So you're right. The defense has sucked for many games because a lot of people were on the IR. Like, obviously, we didn't have we didn't have players that even belonged on an NFL team. I told you they were on the practice field before. They were having coffee at a coffee shop. Hey, can you play defense for the Dallas Cowboys? Like we have guys that are legit now. And the legit guys, this Carson kid is playing all right at corner as well because he's getting time to play defense because we're applying pressure on the quarterback. And you'll see that Thursday.
I'm happy to see that we're playing better defense now than we were 2 weeks ago. I'm with you. Love it. But we're playing against an offense that is experienced. They won Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes is one of the best of all time. He is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. You can't take away his stats. You can't take away the impact he made since he's been in the league. He's still got Travis Kelce. He still has a decent receiving core with Rice, Hollywood Brown, Juju's on there still. He's got a decent offensive weapons. Kareem Hunt had over 100 yards, over 20 carries last week. He looks like he's back in his prime. If they control the clock and run the ball successfully against the Cowboys, and Mahomes can do his play action, it's going to be tough to beat. Now, it's the same thing with the Cowboys. If the Cowboys can do those things, run the ball, control the clock, get Javonte Williams going, we have a good chance of winning that game. But I've watched the Cowboys lose on Thanksgiving to the Chiefs before, to Patrick Mahomes. And I've seen this, every year we talk about this. They can ruin your holiday quick. You'll be eating your dessert after dinner, at your 1 o'clock dinner, and you're sitting there going, I freaking hate the Cowboys. They are ruining my Thanksgiving because they can't pull this off. This is
your problem is what my problem is. And the problem is this. We've seen this video too many times. We get excited. The Cowboys let us down. They've let us down for 29 years. And I get it. And I understand. But at the same time, I think if you're looking at the facts or the true numbers, this is a very beatable game. The Lions, on the other hand, I'd be more nervous going to Detroit to face Dan Campbell and his Lions than I am with, and I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes is not one of the best. I'm just telling you, I think right now, hosting Kansas City with the problems that they have on the offensive line, we have a more likely opportunity at home to knock them off than we do going traveling to Detroit and seeing the Lions.
So real quickly before we move on to the picks,
Sure.
all I'm saying is this. I agree with you. Detroit is the toughest game left remaining on the schedule. It goes Chiefs, Detroit, Vikings, right? And then it goes Giants and Commanders, correct? So the thing is, like, I feel like the last 4 games of the season, the Vikings, the Chargers, the Giants, and the Commanders, those are all games we should win. If we lose those games, that's embarrassing. Our team is better at this point than those teams. But the Chiefs and the Lions, those 2 games remaining are, if we can win both of those games, I feel like we could possibly win out and go 10-6-1 and make the playoffs. I think that is a possibility. If we lose 2 games in the next 6, we are not making the playoffs. It's over. Go for a pick. Do you agree with me?
Right now, we have a 10% chance. Like, as of this win, we have a 10% chance. Analytics through ESPN show 10% chance that we make the playoffs. If we win on Thursday, it only goes up to 19%. So what you're saying is, I do believe that we are a better team than the majority of the teams that you just mentioned. But I honestly still believe, even though that I'm excited about this, I still believe we don't make the playoffs. You got to run. Like, there are too many teams that are, what are we, 2 or 3 games back from the last spot right now?
No, we need a lot of help with the wins to make it.
Right.
It's
that's my point.
lot for it to happen.
That's what I'm trying to say is I don't think we make the playoffs. I'd like to see this team have a little momentum, and nobody wants to hear this, moving forward and going into the 2026-2027 season. And that's what I'm hoping for, to be perfectly honest with you. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for the Dallas Cowboys to make a bold move and sign George Pickens to a long-term deal. I'm looking for things that are going to help us in the future. Like I said before, this team is not going anywhere. They really are not going anywhere. And it hurts me to say it, but they're not going anywhere.
All right. Well, and we were there. And as Lombardi said, every time we looked at the sidelines, it seemed as if Logan Wilson was standing there with his helmet in his hand, watching the game and not out on the field. However, maybe that was an optical illusion, because according to Inside the Star, Dallas Cowboys news blog, they were saying one of the critical factors in helping to keep Saquon to just 22 rushing yards is the pairing of Overshown and Logan Wilson, who had increased snaps this game from the previous game.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm embarrassed. Do we not see this?
You're not lying.
I'm embarrassed.
No, you're not lying.
I seen Kenneth Murray and I seen a lot of Overshown. I didn't see a lot of Wilson on the field.
I can't wait to go back and watch the tape and see how often he actually was on the field.
You're not on Chat GPT 5.0, Scotty, are you? You didn't pull that up?
I gave you my references right there. I haven't had a chance to look at other references, but
because that's not reliable. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not reliable.
I do not put my faith in AI. All right. Well, hey, while we have a quick stop and I have a moment, I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Lombardi and JP Talk Sports podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, be sure to subscribe, follow, like us. We're here every week during the football season with your Cowboys news, information, and opinions, as you've just heard for most of the show. And I'd like to take a moment to tell you that the Lombardi and JP Talk Sports podcast is powered by Lee Creative Media. Ready to make your brand unforgettable? At Lee Creative Media, LLC, we create scroll-stopping, stunning photography, high-impact video, and bold social media that gets results. Lee Creative Media, where your story gets seen. All right, gentlemen, anything, you kind of took a lot of, hey, what we just saw and what we experienced, reviewing this past Week 12 game and looking ahead at the Thanksgiving game against the Chiefs. Anything else that you felt you wanted to make a point about, either the last game that we just saw against the Eagles or the upcoming Thanksgiving game?
Scotty, I'd like to say one thing, and or actually 2 things. Number one, we saw history, by the way. This game tied, and I think it's important to recognize this, tied a team franchise record. being down 21 points, a 21-point deficit. The Cowboys did that on September 21st, 2014 versus guess who? Okay, I'll tell you. The St. Louis Rams. They did it again on September 12th, 1999 against the then Washington Redskins. And they also did it in October 21st of 1984 against the New Orleans Saints. So this is the fourth time that the Dallas Cowboys have come back from a 21-point deficit. And the other thing I want to say before I turn over to JP is that I do want to congratulate Dak Prescott. I don't have the numbers handy. Maybe Scott, you can pull it up.
His franchise record.
Franchise record. He leads now the team. To think that we've had quarterbacks such as Troy Aikman, Danny White, Roger Staubach, Don Meredith. To think that he's in a group like this and bypass now leads the Dallas Cowboy team history with passing, throwing yards is pretty amazing. So what were the totals on that, Scotty?
Yeah, so he needed, coming into the game, reportedly he needed 160 yards to break Romo's record, and he surpassed it in the second half. He finished the game with 354 passing yards, bringing his career total after the game to over 34,300 yards.
Awesome. Congrats, Dak.
Yeah.
JP?
Congratulations, Dak, on the achievement. Never going to change my dog's name. It's always going to be Dakota. And, I have nothing else to add. I mean, we've covered it all. It's looking forward to Thanksgiving and hopefully get another win and make this thing interesting to see how this Cowboys season moves forward.
All right. You want to get to the picks, boys?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we'll save the Chiefs-Cowboys as we normally do to the end, but let's look at some of the at least one other Thursday game. The first game, the 1 o'clock game on Thanksgiving, is the Packers at the Lions. As you know, much like the Cowboys, the Lions are always playing on Thanksgiving. Who you got, JP?
I just think the Packers are not playing that great. They got to win this past weekend, but I don't think they're playing that well, so I'm going to take the Detroit Lions over the Packers.
Lombardi?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions. I think the Lions are, if not the best team in the NFC right now, they're right there at the top. So I take the Lions.
All right. I think that's across the board. I'm going Lions on Thanksgiving. It's kind of, we call it in our family double D, Detroit and Dallas, when we make those picks. So at least the first half, I have one of the double Ds. I'm going with Detroit as well. Across the board. All right. We're going to skip the Chiefs-Cowboys, save that till the end. Let's go Texans and Colts. As we mentioned, the Colts coming off the tough loss at KC in overtime. They're playing a Texans team who just came off of a big win against the apparently struggling Bills. Who you got, Lombardi?
The Colts all the way.
I'm going to take the Colts, but the Texans did look really well against the Bills and made Josh Allen's life a living hell. Sacked him a bunch. But I think the Colts are going to pull that out.
All right, let's go one more here. Well, all right, I'll give you mine. This is kind of boring. We're all across the board again with the Colts. Let me see if I can find a game where maybe we'll mix it up a little bit. How about the Bills, the aforementioned Bills, and the Steelers, both kind of in the top half of their division, but not a top. Lombardi, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills. They were pathetic this week. Chances of Josh Allen being pathetic in 2 weeks in a row is slim to none. The Bills come back and win that game. Pittsburgh doesn't do anything for me, and who knows if even Aaron Rodgers is going to play or not. Yeah,
with the Aaron Rodgers injury, I'm taking the Bills. I think they're definitely a better team right now, and the Ravens just took the first place over the Steelers after starting 1-5. Now they're 6-5, so I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, unfortunately, with that injury and most likely not playing, Aaron Rodgers out, I think, again, we're all taking the Bills across the board. So I tried to find a game that maybe we'd mix it up a little bit, but so far,
I know which one we're going to mix it up on right now.
But let's finish it with the Chiefs and Cowboys. I guarantee we're all not going to be on the same board.
Save me for last.
What's that?
Okay.
Save me for last on this one.
Save you for last. Okay. All right. Well, then I will go first. How about that? We'll mix it up. Instead of me usually going last, I'll go first. Chiefs at Cowboys. Cowboys at home, coming off a short week, but so are the Chiefs. I'm still not convinced. I'm sorry. I hope again I'm wrong, just like I hoped that I was wrong against the Eagles. I think the Chiefs, like JP has said, they're starting to get into their groove here, and they're dangerous because they need the win in order to make the playoffs. They are clearly in danger of making the playoffs this year, and they can't afford this loss. I think they're going to come out firing on all cylinders. I can't wait to see how this defense, as you guys just talked about, how do they handle Mahomes? How do they stop the run? Is Pacheco playing? How are they going to stop him? And then the deep threats, the speed of Rice and others. Let's find out. So I'm going Chiefs. Lombardi?
That was a lot.
I never get to go first, so I took advantage of my opportunity.
I'm going to make this very easy. I'm going to show you and JP that you'll be wrong again 2 weeks in a row because you both threw your Dallas Cowboys under the bus and took the god-awful Dirty Birds this week, and you were proven wrong. And you're going to be proven wrong for week 2 when our Dallas Cowboys take care of business on Thanksgiving Day. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
JP, are we throwing our Cowboy fandom out with the bathwater?
No, I'm just using my brain over my heart. This is the thing. The Chiefs are led by Patrick Mahomes. I don't care what the Cowboys throw at them. Eberflus is still our defensive coordinator. I don't believe in that defense to stop a premier quarterback. So, Joe, I hope it doesn't ruin your Thanksgiving dessert while you're watching the game and it's just a complete cluster. You know what?
Nobody eats dessert looking like this.
All I'm saying is I'm taking the Chiefs over the Cowboys. And I took the Raiders. I took the Eagles last 2 weeks, and the Cowboys have proved me wrong. I hope they prove me wrong again, but there's no way that we can come out of Thanksgiving with a win, I don't think.
And thank you for saying that, because I totally forgot that this is not only the second week you were wrong. This will be the third week.
It's working for you.
You picked the Raiders. I forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up. Fair weather fan.
After taking the Cowboys against the Cardinals and seeing Jacoby Brissett go off, I thought Geno Smith is better than Jacoby. So,
God.
Yeah, there's reasons behind it, but I hope I'm wrong.
Will Lombardi be right? Will the Cowboys win 3 games in a row? First time this season, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's our show for today. Final thoughts, gentlemen. Anything you'd like to add before we sign off?
Wrap us up.
All right. Yeah. That's all the time we have for this week. Thank you again, everybody, for listening. Please comment below. Are they crazy? Are they nuts? Are me and JP fair weather Cowboy fans? Is Lombardi the only one? Let's find out. You guys tell us, all right? Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, from the Lombardi and JP show. That's it for us this week. Be safe. Peace out.